Hello and welcome to Fillerchat. With me today I have Fillark Lucas. Okay, I guess I don't. And then I have Fillark Alexander.
Always.
So today is going to be a Fillark, so we won't be longer than 30 minutes. Yeah, see, today was supposed to be the tournament, but a certain someone went missing. Kill you. Yeah.
Relatable.
Yeah, so that was that's that.
His name is Yo-Yo Key.
Yeah, completely unrelated to the person Kyoya.
Yo-Yo Key, a very legendary character in our filler arc.
Yeah, his absence is what makes this filler. Um, we're supposed to be talking about waifus. I cut six. I cut six main. Oh, did I say waifus? I meant heroines. But we're gonna be objectifying some of them anyways. I I had cut six of the people from the roster as last time because we had 46 and 40 is still too high. But I don't think we're going to be able to cut it any more than this without impeding people's actual wants.
Who'd you cut out?
Cutie Honey, 02. I cut out Serena from Pokemon. Birdie from Birdie the Mighty Decode because I wasn't going to just watch her lose because I'm like the only person on the planet who's seen that show. What else did I cut out? I cut out two more people. I know I did. I cut out two more gag picks.
Okay.
You cut out Midna.
Oh, yes, Midna and Lindis. That's who it was.
Rip.
Yeah. Well, Lindis is the original waifu. I don't think she'd actually fared too well in such large, diverse tournament like this.
I mean, we can plan for a future tournament.
I mean, we already stalled this like 2 weeks, and people still weren't ready today. So, and that's kind of why I just didn't want to do this episode. Haha, sorry, Eisen. I didn't actually. But,
I cut up to D Green Man for this.
yeah, so I'm kind of like down in the dumps just a little bit because of that. But, it's fine. And this filler episode, we'll be talking about, I don't know, random bullcrap that we've just been doing recently, I guess.
You know what we should do
No.
in a tournament, but we choose the worst series, and then we debate what series out of those series is the worst series.
Well, you see, I don't watch shows that are bad more than like 3 episodes. So, unless it's One Piece because I'm insane for some reason.
Would it just be their adaptations or would it be the source material? Because, like, usually the manga are, even when shows are bad, usually the manga are more bearable than the anime.
That is true.
Like for example, Big Order is 10 episodes of poorly paced garbage, but the manga is like really long. It's like 10 volumes. So like in comparison to the anime, I think the anime is just probably a bad adaptation of a not too great story to begin with because it's written by the dude who did Mirai Nikki, and I have no faith in that man whatsoever. So, also he bangs his sister rather than banging the hot shrine priestess. So I question him. The author is well, okay. They just bathe together naked. That's all. I mean, and she's a middle schooler. He's a high schooler. It's fine, right? Right, Japan? Is it fine?
I just thought it would be entertaining to see people defend series that they don't like, just to just for other series that
I
they
mean,
don't like.
entertaining. Maybe it's just practically it's not as effective.
It's
Because I think most people, if they don't like something, they just stop watching it. You know,
I mean,
Honestly, I think it's the opposite.
I mean, if I don't like something, I don't finish it. So
I mean, pretty sure he's not talking about the finishing it. I'm pretty sure he's talking about the defending it.
No.
He's like, he like continue whatever.
No, like most people that I've talked to usually hate shows that they finish more than shows that they dropped. Because when you drop a show or whatever, you drop it like if you really don't like it, you'll drop it early and you won't be as angry towards it because of that. Because you didn't waste so much time on it.
usually you get angry at something because you liked what it was doing, and then it does something really stupid, and it just doesn't come back from that.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the show is awful. It's just it does something that's really dumb. Which is actually kind of how I feel about One Piece, if I'm being objective here.
I guess my point is what I really meant was shows that we've completed that are bad.
I haven't completed Fairy Tail, so I technically haven't completed Sword Art Online. Like
That's fair.
Lots of shows that are really bad. You see one season, and then you think it's trash.
Yeah.
You don't usually watch for multiple seasons. Like when you finish, like for example, I got like 52 episodes in a Fairy Tail. I thought it was trash before the 52 episodes was up, but that's not the point. I watched 24 episodes of Sword Art Online. I didn't like a single minute of it. I did not, like I said, I did not like Sword Art Online even at the beginning. I thought it was bad from the beginning. Like I didn't think it was anything special whatsoever. I have no idea what got people so hooked on it. Kirito's a boring and bland character to watch. He's also broken, and he's supposed to be a loser, but apparently the dude has like better magnetism with girls than Magneto has with iron and metal. So like
It's because he's the Black Swordsman.
oh yeah, the Black Swordsman. That's gotta be why he's keeping that big old sword, right? It's
The fact that he shares a nickname with Guts.
it's something. I the only the only show that has like oh no, I hate Chivalry, but Chivalry is supposed to get a second season, though it's been like 3 years, so I'm just sitting here laughing smugly. Aria of Curse of a Holy Swordsman. No, I forgot. That's not even the full name. World Break, Aria of Curse of a Holy Swordsman. That's the full name. Is the only show that I can think of that like I thought was bad, and I watched it all the way through, and there's like no seasons after the season I watched. It's like 12 episodes, and it stays 12 episodes. I don't think it's ever going to get another season. That show is probably no. Ryan, if he counts, but Arya of Curse of a Holy Swordsman is like never good in those 12 episodes.
Okay.
It's just okay. So I'm going to give a rundown of what the heck I'm talking about. So essentially, the show is they all go to a school, and like at the school, all the kids there are reincarnated heroic spirits. They're the descendants or reincarnations of famous heroes of legend. but they're made up heroes of legend, so that heroes can have whatever power. The main character is like one of the most powerful mages of all time, and like one of the most powerful knights of all time at the same time, because he's like two different. He's like a a double event or whatever they call it,
Okay.
and so basically they're like letting you know right off the bat that he's like friggin' broken. Uh, like he the way the power scaling works is like without any training he just like wrecks the second year if I recall correctly, and then after that he starts like wrecking the monsters that appear that need to be killed by the students, that even professionals can't kill. By the end of by like 4 episodes in, like there's like 10 people in the world who are like the top 10 strongest of the reincarnations. He beat one of them straight up in a fight, like he beats two in that show. Just like the first 12 episodes, he beats two. So you already know he's just going to give the beat down to the rest of the 10 because they're not the weakest; they're some of the strongest ones. So
Yeah.
his his excuse was like, "Yo, I like basically when he beat the first one, he's like, I didn't actually beat him, I just froze him. You know, he's like, I couldn't actually damage his armor, but I won. You know." And then like he goes to go fight the chick who like practically rules all of Russia, and he wrecks her so bad with a water attack that they have to rewrite a map in the part of Russia.
Okay.
And then by the end, he fights like the strongest monster in existence, and that's the only fight where he like doesn't just one shot, because the way it goes is this is how all fights go. A super broken monster that no one else can defeat goes, and then he like attacks it, and he's like, I remember, and then he like one shots it with whatever he's remembered, just like
Okay.
instantly. That's every time, like for 11 episodes. That's all that happens. I remember, bang, get that beat down. Essentially every time. It's also a harem, and like there's a lolly in that harem, and they're like, "Who are you?" And she legitimately says, "Oh, I'm a future member of his harem."
Okay.
And then there's fun fact with the same scene with the lolly. She's like, "Oh, I don't sleep on her lap. I sleep on the lolly's lap because she's soft." And everyone just stares at him, and they like try to pretend that the students are relevant. Like they try really, really, really hard to pretend. Like they'll give them like training scenes, and then MC is just like a god
Okay.
compared to like every single one of them. It is bad. Also, the first two girls are a part of his harem are like the first one is a girl who was his sister in the past life, but she's not his sister now, and she's like finally it's not forbidden love. But I
Oh
feel
my
like it
God.
didn't stop her beforehand. Also, not only is she incestuous, she's an Ojo-sama, and I've never seen an incestuous Ojo-sama before.
Mhm.
And I'm like, this is bizarre. And then like the second chick was like this woman he like rescued who he kept as like a slave as a mage who had like absurdly large boobs.
Mhm.
And then his third member of a harem is some assassin chick that he charmed because his bland personality is so nice and instantaneously made her like wet, I guess. Even though she was sent to kill him.
Okay.
He almost steals the girl of the guy he froze. It's bad. Like really bad. And the only reason I watched all of it is because I said I want to be able to give my full opinion without anyone saying, well, it gets better. It was only 12 episodes, and I had a lot of free time back then. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to watch all 12 episodes so I can say what the crap I want. No one can say anything to me about, oh, it gets better. Because I hate when people are like, I complain about Fairy Tail. Oh, it gets better. I complain about literally anything that has like more than 24 episodes. Oh, it gets better. I hate that complaint. Oh, I hate it so much. Because look, well, you didn't wait until it got good at 92 episodes, man. Like, you didn't wait long enough. I know it's bad for like the first 91, but you didn't
That's
wait.
that's my problem with Eureka 7.
Eureka 7 is like, is it 60 episodes? I don't even remember. But what I do remember is that when I was listening to the second opening, I didn't care how bad Eureka 7 got, because the second opening is fantastic. And then
No,
after the second opening, it was, yeah.
it's not that it's bad necessarily. It's just that for like the first 20 or 30 episodes, you have no idea what's going on.
I mean, they have a soccer episode like a couple episodes before the final climax of the entire franchise. So I don't know. Like,
Like the last 20 episodes are good, but like by the time you get to them, you don't even care anymore.
what I do give Eureka 7 props for is that it really is trying to push like love and stuff. Renton and Eureka have a good relationship because like Eureka, okay, so basically something happens to Eureka and she gets really gross. Like she has like veins popping out and she gets all nasty and icky and her hair gets like buzzed cut, right? She's supposed to look all gross. Like, but Renton, keeps loving her, even though at first the only reason he liked her is because he thought she was cute, right? So the show really, 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 really tries to push like young love and like how you learn from it and everything, and how you deal with it now can affect you for the rest of your life because it shows that in the relationship between Crispin Freeman's character, whose name is escaping me right now, and Kate Higgins' character, whose name is also escaping me right now. And the fact that I can remember their voice actors more than them shows how much I paid attention to their voice actors as opposed to the character. Kate Higgins is the chick who voices Sakura, by the way.
Okay.
So, yeah. It also, at the very end of Eureka 7, it does the... You know how, like... Okay. You know how, like, sci-fi shows always go into this weird theoretical, like, bullcrap when they go off the rocker into, like, oh, there's a place inside a different dimension where it has the records of all of humanity in existence and crap like that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Eureka 7 does that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's like Interstellar or some crap. Like where random stuff just starts happening at the end of the movie, and you're like, "Is this science? No, no, yeah." So I thought, yeah.
Science, bitch.
It's who? What time did we start? Let's see. Make sure I don't like just run the entire farewell. Okay, we started 15 minutes ago. Okay, so I filled this up with half of it was complaining about Aria Curse of the Holy Sword. Yeah, but Eureka 7 gets really weird in the end. That's why they're redoing it with the movies. Just how like Evangelion got weird at the end, and then they made End of Evangelion, and it got even weirder. So they're redoing it with Rebuild of Evangelion, and Rebuild of Evangelion has kept its weirdness level at like a medium point.
The Evangelion movies made for people who like just didn't understand Evangelion.
No, it's for people who didn't like End of Evangelion. It's because the first movie is literally exactly the same as the beginning of Evangelion. There's like almost nothing different. It's like in HD and modern animation. That's literally the same thing. It has similar symbolism, but with a lot less sex symbolism. Like a lot less. For example, there's no erotic asphyxiation. There's no wanking it or anything like that. None of that type of symbolism. Shinji actually starts to take a stand for himself in the second movie. And in the third movie, he finds a reason to fight, which is Kawaru. By the way, I'm pretty sure the third movie confirms that Shinji is like bi as crap, by the way, Alex.
One more time, I didn't catch that.
I said I'm pretty sure the third movie confirms Shinji is like bi as crap because of his relationship with Kawaru.
Okay.
You've seen 3.0, right?
I've not seen 3.0. I've only seen 2.0.
Okay. You guys need to see 3.0. Holy God. Because, all right. And the reason I'm saying that is because Shinji's relationship with Kawaru is like... Shinji starts to say stuff like, I'm doing everything for you, and weird stuff like that. While still trying to smash Rei.
I mean, talk about my characters. Kanda.
It's very, very interesting, and it's, you know what happens, right? That like Shinji actually got teleported into the future, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, yeah. That there's some like you need to watch 3.0 because I watched it a couple months ago and I was like, God dang, this is just not what I was expecting. It's also very depressing.
Yeah, I
Like
can see that.
but it's not sexual.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
what were you saying?
that's half the fun.
So yeah, it's it's a good movie. We're infinitely like I'm pretty sure 4.0 is finally being put into production though, because yes, and it's not gonna actually be called 4.0. It's gonna be called 3.0 plus 1.0,
Okay.
and I have no idea what they're going to do. This is the third time that they're trying the end of Evangelion, because
Yeah.
the end of Evangelion is a remake of the original series ending.
Yep.
So let's hope everything goes well according to plan. It's it's I really don't know what they're gonna do. Honestly, after the last movie, I was really hoping someone in this call had at least seen the last movie, so I could at least talk without giving spoilers. Because like anything I say is a heavy spoiler for that film, because I wasn't expecting any of it, and I'd waited like 3 years. So like, you know, I didn't encounter. But a little fun fact for that is that the Japanese studio saw the English dub for 3.0 and went Funimation, that's not good enough, and made them redo it again. And I'm like, uh, when did you start caring about how bad dubs were, and why weren't you doing this 10 years ago?
Same.
Like, when dubs were really horrible. Like, where were you?
Oh,
Where?
it's more early 2000s than late 2000s when dubs were really bad.
Yeah, early 2000s is like everything started like using hentai recording studios or some crap like that. Like, god dang. Speaking of which, why were people dubbing hentai in the 90s?
I
What
mean,
possessed them? You know,
hey,
that's the reason that a lot of people just think anime is hentai.
yes, I'm aware.
Because the freaking 90s.
My question
Hey
is,
man, when you have dial-up and you can't just go to like Pornhub, what are you gonna do?
I just.
why did they stop all of a sudden?
Why'd they stop? Because what people are doing doesn't require them to hear the English voices.
Hey, everything can.
Like, I mean, and to answer your question, Alex, watch Ghost in the Shell. Makoto Kusanagi's barely wearing anything.
I've
It
seen
was the 90s.
well, I haven't seen the other ones.
Yeah, but like,
Did, any,
well, her more modern outfit is like less skimpy, actually. What are you saying, Lucas?
did anybody see the live action Ghost in the Shell?
No.
I did not either.
It's just,
I
no.
think it's fucking point if anybody actually saw it. But I heard it's like okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
kind of what I hear.
yeah, I haven't heard anything bad or good about it. Just like, it's okay. It's an action flick. That's what I hear.
Like, the big thing with live action anime movies is I'm not gonna go see it unless it's good. Like, good.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, why would I? If it's a franchise that, I'm already into, why would I want to put myself through that when, the record for live action anime movies in the West is not good? And if it's something I'm not invested in, why would I see it if it's not good? You know?
Yeah.
It's rough. Also, Death Note Netflix film getting a sequel.
No.
Yeah.
End production immediately.
I thought the backlash would be enough for Netflix to like back off.
Hmm.
To get their feet, like for artists to get their feet or what in like the anime industry when adapting anime series, they should probably do something on a smaller scale, something like Fullmetal Alchemist or like something that isn't like huge in scale like Bleach or Naruto or One Piece or anything along those lines. Death Note should have been good. It's not, but like more movies like that. But they should try those out first instead of something you know, bigger.
Here's the thing with Death Note. Like, it's not hard to do a Death Note story well. They just didn't, because they didn't commit to making it their own thing or following the source material. They're just like, oh, we're gonna do weird Death Note, just not as good.
Light Turner.
Like, I mean, if you want to make some schlubby lame guy, have a Death Note and, see where that goes, you can do that. It's going to be more interesting than just taking the character of Light and making him super lame and giving him a Death Note.
Yes.
Like, that's the problem with that movie, is they didn't commit to actually doing it creatively, and they didn't commit to actually following the source material. So
Yeah,
it's not good.
they fizzled out in the middle. So, unfortunately.
You haven't seen the movie, right there. I mean, you haven't finished the movie, right there.
No, I just had a friend tell me all of it.
Okay, so you know what L does at the end of the movie, right?
Yes.
Sorta, kinda.
He uses the Death Note to try to kill Light.
Yep.
Oof.
A move that's totally not L whatsoever.
Yes, essentially. The driving force behind that action was because Watari died, but
Mhm.
I wouldn't even do that even if Watari died. And I'm pretty sure Watari died in these series, didn't he?
Yes.
He died when L
Yeah.
died. But even then, he like when Watari died, L wasn't even choked. He's just like, well, that. And then he's like, somebody get the Death Note, and Nate dies. Or you should have already. It's your fault.
It's
A bad movie.
yeah. 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 Even by regular cinematography standards, it's okay. It's not even good. Like if you ignore everything that Death Note is, it's still not good. Like if you just remove everything from Death Note in your mind, it's still like a pretty just bland movie with an interesting concept. But then you remember Death Note, like you put Death Note back in your mind, and it's horrible. Like they just did their own thing.
Because like the love story in that movie is so unbelievably unrealistic. It's not even funny. Because essentially what happens between Light and Mia, who is Mia, obviously, is that Light is like, hey, I kill people, and she's like, oh my god, that's hot.
Yeah. And then she backstabs him, and he's like, all according to plan.
That's literally how they fall in love. And I'm like, that's retarded.
Oh my.
Because Misa's whole character is that she loves Kira because of he killed her family or whatever. Um, she's not like a sadist per se.
She's just Mia Sutton now, you know? Mia Sutton. Don't you love that name? Mia Sutton. Oh, what a not Misa Amane name. Mia Sutton. They just kept the M rather. And then like took the S out of Misa and then like put it over on the Sutton, but I don't understand. Like his name should have been Luke Turner and just not like Turner. Like yeah, Luke Turner, generic American name. Luke Turner and his girlfriend Mia Sutton. And it just should have not been. Well, it could have been Ryuk if they really wanted to. Ryuk has a lot of time to piss about. Clearly.
Yeah,
And
like
since,
honestly, conceptually, with the stage that they set, I think, involving L and Ryuk are like the two not mistakes just from the get go that they made.
it's the thing I would say is that, well, personally, they should have just chosen a. Well, they could have still had L. He's the number one detective, but they could have had it been like near as L now.
Yeah, that would work all right as well.
Because okay, so hear me out on this. So like, since it's like in the modern era and not in the mid 2000s anymore, like 5 years have passed since Light has died. Like you can set it in that postmodern era. Everyone's forgotten about Light because he's been dead for like half a decade, right? Near his grown to adulthood, he's become the new L. Okay, right. Then you can have Ryuk. He's like, you know what? It's been half a decade since I've had some fun. Drops the Death Note. Oh, look, some American dork picked it up this time. How did it end up in North America? Investigates.
Yeah.
It's really hard. And Ryu is probably the best thing about that movie. But it's
Oh, yeah.
hard to mess with Ryu because he's just a plot device that almost does nothing in the series but watch Light do his thing.
Apples. I gotta get those apples. You know, I start doing like handstands and like backflips and stuff when I don't get my apples. He says that.
So if you mess up Ryu, then you just have to quit like doing movies or writing in your life. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah. I wanted to ask you back, however, because I know these are two series that you love. But now I'm gonna break your heart and ask you, which do you think is better out of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood and D Gray Man?
Oh, so you want to drop this on me when we only have like 3 minutes left in the podcast? Is this what I feel so betrayed. I set a 30-minute time limit and you drop this on me? This is sabotage. This is corporate sabotage. This is sabotage of a new level. I'll remember this betrayal. I'm going to separate the two. And I think as a story, Fullmetal Alchemist achieves what it is going for better. But as a shonen, I think D. Grayman achieves for what it's going for better. As of questions of morality, I think both are very excellent and capable of doing those things. When it comes to the power system, both have pretty good power systems. Innocence is a little looser that you can do with because innocence is different for every individual. Whereas alchemy, you have to follow the rules or it just doesn't work unless you have a philosopher's stone, but you have to kill like 10k people for it. So it's just not worth it. And those are the instances of where rules start to get, hazy and philosopher's stone and anything with innocence because innocence is divine will from God affecting human nature and crap like that. When it comes to the homunculus versus the Noah, the homunculus have a much heavier impact, much quicker than the Noah do.
Yeah.
Road is the most relevant Noah story-wise because she appears very early on and almost causes the death of Lena Lee and Alan Walker.
you have to take into consideration though that The Gray Man is written to be a long running series, whereas Fullmetal Alchemist uh was written to be a little more shorter.
Yes, and that's why I was separating them, and I'm separating them and writing them on individual categories. That's why I mentioned at the beginning, Full Alchemist I think is better as a story, but as a shonen battle series, I think D. Gray Man is better, and that's why I rated the battle systems afterwards. That and I started with that initial statement. To say which one is better, um, that is heavily objective because while D. Gray Man deals with more of the grays, Fullmetal Alchemist deals with more of the because like D. Gray Man's like, oh, is your god really so good if innocence just corrupts the body and turns it into whatever it needs to? When he's talking about when Jas Devi is talking about Corey being vampiric in nature because of innocence, because he's a parasite type, or when they're talking about, whereas in Fullmetal Alchemist they deal with more of the atrocities that humans can commit, like homunculus are just humans. Same thing with Vanilla, but they focus more on the sins. And it while both show like humans can commit sin, Fullmetal Alchemist goes to show you that even our main characters are like very, very, very capable of doing horrible things with the sins that they're fighting. For example, they have Ling be Greed because according to Father, he quite reminds him of Greed and seems like he'd be the perfect Greed. Or seeing Roy get so wrathful that he just repeatedly burns the corpse of lust until they're like, Yamete Yugi, and he is like, get off me, Risa. Like, they both address similar things. But I do think that Fullmetal Alchemist is a little bit of an easier time making it about the humans than D. Gray Man did, because it took quite a while for D. Gray Man to paint humans in a negative light. However, it did it quite masterfully in showing how everyone turns on spoilers. And even though he's been a treasured ally since the beginning. With the endings, D. Gray Man has not ended. Fullmetal Alchemist has. And with production, unfortunately, D. Gray Man suffers from a hiatus syndrome, which is caused by lack of willpower, lack of or sickness, or Dragon Quest. Sometimes all three. And from a production standpoint, Fullmetal Alchemist beats out D. Gray Man because Fullmetal Alchemist had pretty much consistent production. With anime adaptations, Fullmetal Alchemist, the original series, is excellent in its own right. It has a few of the events from the manga. Brotherhood is excellent in its own right. But however, it takes out a lot of stuff from the manga, and it's still like 60 episodes, 64 or something like that. But they spent an entire episode with filler, which just makes you like stare at Bones and be like, "Come on, guys." That first episode, people don't like because it's for people who've never seen Fullmetal Alchemist. It just spoils that there's something up with Wrath. Well, not Wrath, but the Fuhrer. Whoopsies! I just did what the first episode did. Essentially. And filler-wise,
I think Fullmetal Alchemist.
yes. Fullmetal Alchemist just unfortunately solos the D. Gray Man anime.
Yeah.
It's yeah, production wise, Fullmetal Alchemist just had an advantage either way. So if you look at it from every standpoint, I think both of them are fantastic series, and the only reason I think Fullmetal Alchemist would edge it out is because overall it has a higher average thanks to not only production but consistency.
Mhm.
But I could also see people being turned off by like the final arc just a little bit. But every shonen arc gets weird in the final. Every shonen gets weird in the final arc. Like that's just a thing. It is just a thing. Like it is almost. Have I watched a show where it didn't get weird in the final arc? Because like in Yu-Gi-Oh, Yugi is dueling the Pharaoh.
Yep.
And they're in the real world, so you know.
Uh, Internet, I don't know about the manga, but the anime had a final arc that wasn't that weird or different. Like its final arc was pretty good for the anime. Uh,
So yeah, that's my opinion. Is oh crap, I think we've gone over. Have I gone over? I went over a good 7 minutes. Yeah, I hate you, Lucas. We have to wrap this up because I said it was 30 minutes. But go ahead and say your last statement.
nothing. I don't remember what I was gonna say.
Yeah, 3 minutes was not enough to fit my opinion on that. Like I said, I think Full Alchemist just edges out on average. But if you take them apart and like compare them individually, each one still has fantastic writing in their own rights. So hopefully we'll see you guys next week. With me today, I had Filler Lucas.
I guess.
And I had Filler Alex.
Steins Gate.
Yeah. See you guys next week.